بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم جميعا. Abdurrahman, thank you very much for the introductions. Really want to thank yourself, Majid, the Invest Saudi initiative, and obviously all of the efforts put forth by the Ministry of Investment within the Kingdom. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to be with you all this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. But I hope that we can hopefully shed some light on what Saudi Post has been doing in the past several months, actually, even before COVID, and then we'll zoom in a little bit on the COVID. Abdurrahman, if we can move to the agenda slide, please. Next slide, thank you. So before I get started, on behalf of His Excellency Engineer Anif Abanmi and the entire Saudi Post leadership team and staff, it's truly an honor to be with you all, as I said earlier, and I hope that we can enlighten you with the various efforts that we've put forth and hopefully get you all excited about the way forward for us as an organization and the journey that we're going on. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on what who we are as an organization, some statistics or some facts and figures. We'll then zoom in on the transformation program that we've really been working on over the past year and a half. And then I'll spend some minutes zooming in on the various initiatives that we have really embarked upon in the past 2-3 months in light of COVID and the efforts and the role that we took on. Inspiring and in the position of the national champion in postal logistics across the kingdom. And last but not least, we'll conclude hopefully with getting you all excited about our growth plans and potential areas of opportunities. Abdurrahman, next slide, please. So just some background, and I'm not going to go into all of the text here, but our vision and aspiration, obviously, and I thank you, Naif, my fellow colleague from CITC, for shedding some light on obviously the postal logistics industry and the role of Saudi Post. But we obviously as an organization, as a government organization, are mandated with regards to providing various universal services across the kingdom to ensure that our residents, whether they are Saudi nationals or international residents, or even visitors in the kingdom, are getting the right level of access as it relates to postal logistics or courier services across the kingdom. And there's a variety of different areas that we focus on. So it's not just traditional postal mail, but we also are the main provider of various government documentation deliveries to our citizens and residents, whether that's passport deliveries, whether that's driver license deliveries. We started a lot of new services in the recent past, such as even delivering birth certificates to doorsteps, etc. So that's one part of it. I think the other area that we're really zooming in on, and that's really in light of our transformation, it's the whole space of e-commerce. And we all know that globally, the space of e-commerce is now probably more than ever an important industry to focus on, and the demand of it is just increasing dramatically. And what does that mean for us as postal logistics couriers or service providers? So we'll shed some light on that. But just to give you some statistics about us as an organization, we have 9,000 employees scattered across the kingdom. We have about 590 branches around the kingdom in various areas, whether those are the rural areas, urban areas, or the metropolitan cities. We have 60 parcel stations that are active today across the kingdom, and our vision is to hopefully increase and expand that across the kingdom as a new method or mechanism for our customers and our beneficiaries to pick up their parcels or mail packages, etc. And about 800 plus vehicles, last mile vehicles, and not the line haul vehicles. So those are the vehicles that we use, and once again, we're expanding that. I think one other asset that I'd really like to zoom in on, which is something that we're proud of managing and operating within Saudi Post, it's National Address Platform. And that's a sophisticated platform that's been developed over the past several years that is not necessarily for us as Saudi Post. It's really a national platform to be used by all courier and postal providers, anyone that is in the business of needing to deliver something or identifying the physical location of an individual, whether that's a national, a resident, etc. Once again, there's a platform that we have that we've established. We have various services that we can plug into, whether through APIs, etc., to help, whether that's the e-commerce players, the government providers, public providers, with regards to some of the services they want to go out with. Abdurrahman, next slide, please. So we've embarked on a transformation journey. We started this about January of last year with the appointment of His Excellency Engineer Anif on December 28th of 2018. So it's been about a year and a half now since his appointment and since we embarked on that transformation journey. And I'll be very honest with you, there's just a lot going on within our buildings and our premises as we speak. We are trying to improve our business as usual, our core business, the historic and legacy business that we've had. We're trying to enhance and create a new organization in a privatized manner, and that's really one of our mandates by the government. So as part of Vision 2030, a vision that we're all very proud of as Saudi nationals and as a society and community at large. There's a number of aspects, and I believe some of our esteemed panelists also touched on, the kingdom being a logistics hub in this geography or this part of the world, and there's a big role that we all need to be playing here in hopefully realizing that vision. So our role here embarked across a number of different dimensions. We've embarked on a really ambitious transformation journey. We are currently undergoing about 10 strategic transformation programs, looking at operations, customer experience, looking at the way we look at our financial, our commercial aspects of the business, which was really not necessarily there in the legacy form of the organization. So, historically, Saudi Post was not necessarily looking at this from a pure privatized or commercial perspective, a customer experience perspective. Well, alhamdulillah, thankfully, we're trying to change that culture very quickly, and we've really seen some positive results over the past several months. So just a little glimpse here of what's going on. So what you see on the left of this slide is really the different transformation programs that are being undertaken today. We also embarked on bringing about a new leadership team to focus on the new aspects and the future growth of the organization. We wanted to ensure that we brought in a lot of people from the private sector as well to bring in that commercial mentality and that sales mentality, but more or less also looking at the product development aspects and ensuring that we are creating products and services that the customers of today want and the customers of the future want. So once again, very proud of my esteemed colleagues and leadership team. And once again, this is, in fairness to everyone, this is just a glimpse. There's many more people behind the scenes, and I really appreciate all of their efforts. I think another major aspect that we're very proud of in the past several months is how we have also quickly been able to establish our footprint within the e-commerce space. And what you see at the bottom left, once again, not exhaustive, doesn't do it justice, but we've already started collaborating with various e-commerce players, whether they are local players or international players, and primarily supporting them with today in the last mile space. But our ambition, our plans is to move very quickly into the areas of fulfillment, whether that's micro fulfillment and other aspects of the whole e-commerce ecosystem, of course, in collaboration with whether our government public entities or even some of our other government private entities. And we have some of our colleagues with us here today as well. Next slide, please. So let me zoom in on what we've done over the past few months. And it's with great pride that I really share all of this with you. Because if one looked at this in January of 2020 and said, are you, as Saudi Post and as a leadership team, will you be able to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4 in the next several months? With all honesty, we probably would have responded and said, we're going to get there. We're working on it. We're transforming. But that burning platform was not necessarily there. And I think this pandemic has only created a burning platform for all of us across industries. And it's allowed us to accelerate and really push ourselves and go beyond our norm to really get up and moving. And in our case, the social infrastructure aspect and the obligation that we feel we are responsible for in order to help the communities and societies across the kingdom really just drove us to accelerate our drive, our ambition, and we have gone about a number of initiatives. So let me zoom in on a few of them there that are national initiatives at the very top. So we started a volunteer initiative during COVID where we wanted to ensure that to help out with the whole demand and the supply aspect. So the demand of grocery deliveries obviously skyrocketed. The supply was not necessarily meeting that. So what could we do as an organization to help and support? So we started a volunteer program where we got volunteers across the organization, which was really exciting for us all. People raising their hands saying, we want to be a part of this. And we started delivering some groceries, not at a large scale, but once again, we did our very best there. Within the Medina Principality, we were fortunate to have an opportunity to help the needy and the poor with regards to getting them food baskets delivered. So we delivered 21,000 food baskets to various beneficiaries across the city of Medina during the COVID period. The next initiative, which is probably close to my heart, given that I was in healthcare for about 19 years before switching to the logistics industry just a year ago, and that's really the whole convergence and the linking between the digital and the physical. And as we move forward, we're going to see more and more of that convergence. So how could we support the healthcare side, which we know is obviously one of the most crucial and critical aspects of this pandemic in terms of a support aspect. So we collaborated with the Ministry of Health, which really manages about 60% of our healthcare across the kingdom. And within a very short time frame, not only were we able to launch the service of last mile in pharmaceuticals, but we have successfully been able to deliver 10,000 medications and prescriptions to various beneficiaries across the kingdom, which was not only a moment of pride, but I think really reflected very proud moments across our delivery team and excitement. We also supported our mother organization, MCIT. Some of you may not know, but as an organization, we report into His Excellency Abdullah Swaha as the Minister of Communication and Information Technology. So we supported the MCIT umbrella with also the delivery of 2,000 various technology devices. From a e-learning perspective, as you all know, we had to move all of our students out of the physical schools and into their homes, and many of them did not have any physical devices. So once again, we helped them. We helped out there by delivering 2,000 tablets and various devices to students across the kingdom. And last but not least, we supported and collaborated with various universities across the kingdom to ensure that the graduates of 2020 received their diplomas and degrees at home on time. And we successfully delivered 140,000 of those across the kingdom as well during this period. Moving on to the customer initiatives, just to zoom in, obviously when it comes to COVID, the hygiene aspects, the sanitization aspects, the safety aspects, we've done an extreme job there. And as you know, in our business, many of you that are in this business know that this is not a business that you can afford to shut down. So you need to be able to operate and keep your business afloat and keep that continuity going. So we developed our own internal plans. We have a daily crisis management team from His Excellency leading it, myself and various other members of the leadership team on a daily basis, really operating, managing that very closely to ensure that there's no disruption to our business. And with all honesty, we've had a number of COVID cases within our staff. Once again, we have 9,000 employees. That's a large number. It is expected. However, we're very proud that I think with the level of awareness, education that we provided to our staff, we've been able to circumvent and mitigate, creating bigger problems and challenges. And we're once again very happy and proud of the employees and the level of culture that has sort of become part of their routine business, because this just needs to continue for a while moving forward. We also wanted to ensure that none of our customers had to come to our branches to deliver their packages if they were supposed to deliver them pick them up from the branch. So we took another initiative and we ensured that 57,000 of our packages that were supposed to be picked up by customers from the offices were actually delivered to doorsteps. And a big thank you to our retail team for their efforts on that. We provided various online stores and e-commerce stores with a 3-month free subscription to the National Address Platform that I talked about earlier. And we also increased the utilization of our parcel stations, which is obviously a new mechanism and mode for parcel deliveries that we're seeing globally, and hopefully within the kingdom we'll see that sooner than later. And I'll be extremely excited when all of us can walk out of our doorsteps into our communities and see some of those parcel stations that will only help us all go about the accessibility and make our lives better and improve the overall quality of life aspects there. Government documents as well, 284,000 government documents, whether we're talking about passports, driver's license, iqamas, etc., were also delivered there. I'll stop there. I can go on and on, but I really just wanted to give you a flavor of what we've done over the past several months. As I hope you can see from the look on my face, extremely proud of it as a leader in this organization, and really, a big thanks to the entire team behind the scenes, a big thanks to the leadership, and a very big thanks to all of our organizations, whether in the public sector or the private sector, for their collaboration over the past few months. Last slide, Abdurrahman. So, and I'm not going to go into the details here, just mindful of time, and we have another colleague to speak as well. But I really want to conclude by saying that I hope we've given you a glimpse of our transformation journey, where we're going, and for those of you that are excited and want to hear more about it, please reach out to our colleagues in the Ministry of Investment. Reach out to us directly. There's a lot of opportunities, whether that's looking at our acquisition strategy, our partnership collaboration strategy, looking at joint ventures across a number of areas. Whether we're looking at our core businesses, our adjacencies, we're looking at aspects of financial services and fintech as well. So once again, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, communicate with us. We'll be more than happy to get on a call, get on a meeting, and get the ball rolling. But thank you all very much for your attendance, and thank you once again to the Ministry of Investment team for inviting us to this session. Shukran.